out to the Cowboys.
Or not.
Or not. I don't know.
Listen, y'all about to cost me money with this Zeke shit, man.
Yeah,
Look,
Zeke.
The thing with Zeke is that there's so many different stories coming out about that investigation. We literally have no idea what happened. It came out that the girl lied. She was being manipulating. We don't even know if he deserves the suspension or not. And especially, like, as a woman, I'm all for the suspension if he did what they're saying he did, but we have no idea. And from the way it's looking, it's almost like the NFL kind of railroaded him. I mean, he just it's just a mess.
They gave Roger too much power in this last CBA negotiation they had. They let him judge, jury, executioner, and when they got to go for the appeal, he's the person they see.
Yeah.
So they gives him too much power. He can just make a decision. And from everything I've seen from the CBA, he's well within his power to do this, even though there's not enough evidence. Like, if it was a court of law, he'd walked already. We wouldn't even be talking about it no more.
I mean,
But he was exonerated already, right?
Right.
In both cases, in Ohio and in Florida.
They're not pursuing the charges.
It's messy.
NFL has been a mess for years, and this is part of.
I mean, but this year it just feels like, I mean, between, you want to talk about like NFL injuries and then NFL like.
Dog, it's everything. There's
yes.
Like we were just talking about Deshaun Watson last week on last week's podcast.
Yeah. Yes.
He just went down today at practice, tore his ACL. He's out for the season.
So fucking sad.
But before that, after our podcast, he went out and threw for 450, something like that.
He balled out.
Yes.
Sunday against the Seahawks.
5 touchdowns, and I mean they lost because the defense.
Russ had a good ass game too. They balled out. It was a shootout.
And they
I know.
He tore out his ACL. DeAndre Hopkins that we talked about sat out practice.
Yep.
Came out and had like 200 yards receiving. Yep. Crazy.
It's been a rough NFL year. These injuries are trash.
Andrew Luck was on IR.
Andrew Luck's on IR. He's done. He's done. He never even played a snap this year.
I know. Ab's a Colts fan. We were talking about it today. He's like, put my fucking season in rice. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
And Jacoby, you trust.
Lord.
We trusted him for a game.
Yeah, man. But They ended up canceling the meeting that Cap was supposed to attend.
Oh, that's right. They canceled.
They ended up canceling that, and they may reschedule. But what the fuck are y'all doing?
I don't know. Speaking of, I saw something today that said that Bob is gonna let Cap try out or.
Unless he's going to be their backup, they just re-signed Matt McGloin.
But my thing is,
Matt McGloin, he's trash. Matt McGloin is trash. He played for Bill O'Brien, who's
I don't understand.
He played for Bill O'Brien, who was the Texans coach. He played for him in college at Penn State.
Yep.
So whatever, quote unquote, he knows the system. But that's been the narrative they've been running with about all these quarterbacks. They know the system. That's why they didn't sign.
But
Cap.
if they were smart,
but if they were any really good, they would probably have a spot already.
If they were smart, especially with Deshaun Watson, they play a similar style of game.
Yeah.
Both athletic, they both run.
Like Eric says, yep.
And if they were smart, they would have just signed Cap and they wouldn't have had to change much. But if they signed McGloin, I know his statue ass ain't running nowhere. So he's going to be stuck in that pocket and hope his trash ass O-line, who just moved their best guard, Dwayne Brown.
Oh, yeah.
They sent him to Seattle.
Yep.
Because Deshaun Watson could run, so they didn't have to really worry about it. And now he's done. So they got to sit and duck back there. They're going to be sorry.
It's super frustrating. I don't know how many episodes I can say I'm tapped out on the NFL. It's just exhausting at this point.
Yeah, man. You see Papa John? Papa John's pissed.
Okay.
First off, Papa John, your pizza's garbage. Nobody eats that shit.
Papa John's pours sauce on cardboard and serves it to
I've
people.
had Papa John's once just because, I heard the name 30,000 times. This was like 5 years ago. I don't think I've ever tasted a pizza worse.
Probably not.
Yeah, it was
it's
really
not
bad.
Real food.
I've had one worse. It's this little spot. If you went to Hampton, you know about it. It's called Chinello's in Virginia. It's a little chain. Their pizza's garbage. We should have knew from it being in Virginia that the pizza was going to suck. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Chinello's, Papa John's, 2 worst pizzas ever. Fuck both of you.
Papa John himself says, the NFL not handling anything. The NFL doesn't handle anything right. Yeah. So they're saying the NFL isn't handling anything right. I know a lot of things are going around on Twitter saying someone clickbaited an article saying, "Oh, Papa John says protests are the reason why no one's buying their pizza." To flip it to get clicks. I think that's half of what he's saying. but half of it is is the NFL just doesn't have their shit together, and it wasn't just Papa John. There was a few other advertisers
that part is true.
Yeah. But Papa John's pizza is fucking trash at the end of the day. So
it is.
Get some better fucking pizza, and people won't fucking.
Like Pizza Hut said, they jumped in to let everybody know. I mean, they can't relate. They hit him with the bloop. Like, listen, our sales are just fucking fine, okay?
They said, we eating over here,
but
baby.
Papa John's has come out and said racist just bullshit before. Fuck that pizza. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's trash.
If you're eating chain restaurant pizza, you got to reevaluate your life anyways. Find a good mom and pop shop. It'll be the best pizza of your life. I don't know why anybody.
You know, these people that live in like the North,
don't deserve taste
the Midwest, and all these little flyover states that nobody lives in. It's probably all they got, man. You know, you live
unfortunate.
You live here in CT.
There's
gotta
be small mom and pop's pizza shops, man. There's pizza
Not
shops everywhere. There's gotta be.
Listen.
That's because we live
just
in the
one.
Northeast.
Even one.
I lived somewhere else for 4 years. Slim pickings, baby.
Yeah.
Why? Why aren't they?
You've been to Texas. How many pizza places do you see in Texas?
When I went to Texas, I wasn't looking for pizza, so I can't answer that. Like, I wasn't like, I'm in Texas.
None.
Let me eat some fucking pizza. So.
There's none.
Listen, I was in Virginia for 4 years. Pizza was real slim pickings, especially in Southern Virginia. You get up north to where DC and Maryland are at, you'd get a little better.
We were just in Maryland, and
I thought you were reaching for that bottle.
No,
I thought you was too.
no shots for me
She gonna
tonight.
sweat it out?
No shots for me tonight. I'll be slurring on this shit like crazy. We were just in Maryland. We couldn't get a pizza shop to fucking deliver.
Definitely couldn't.
It was late though, wasn't it?
No,
it was the middle of the goddamn day. No.
See, I thought you said like 12, and I just assumed it was like 12.
But we were trash last weekend. We just went to IHOP.
Oh,
we just gave up and went to IHOP.
Okay.
It was the only option, but no. It was.
We talking about before?
We were talking about like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh,
we were trying to order pizza.
Yeah.
Everybody's called. We don't deliver. Oh, our system's down for 2 hours.
One of the ladies laughed at me. She was like, "We don't deliver." I'm like, "Bitch."
He's gonna laugh. He's gonna laugh at me, bitch. You foul nigga.
Laughing at my hunger, I'm dying.
I'm trying not to die in the middle of this bar. You just gonna laugh at me.
Wow, this whole time I thought it was some late night shit.
No. But yeah, so the NFL's messy.
NFL's trash.
Fuck Papa John's.
You see, bringing it back to Bob McNair, after he made those racist comments, one of his players, Jadeveon Clowney, who's probably the face of the defense, not a J.J. Watt, is out.
So he's the best player now?
Yeah. He dressed up as an inmate for Halloween.
I saw it. I loved it. I love the sentiment.
I'm mad. He was like, "Oh no, this wasn't towards my owner. It was only size they had in the store." You lying motherfucker. Just say yeah. I'm an inmate.
Yes.
This is what it is.
But he said it like he's some giant nigga. Like he's a big dude, but he could have found something else that fit if he really wanted to.
He was lying.
It's frustrating because it's like, even with the kneeling, like the whole team kneeled in that game, but it's not.
He's just kneeling now. Just it ain't even like
the moment passed. It meant something. It would have meant something if you were kneeling when Cap was kneeling. Now it's just gimmicky and it's annoying and it's like, what are you really doing?
Yeah,
make an actual statement at this point.
Yeah, we're gonna kneel today, guys. Or we're not gonna kneel. Which one is it?
It's like, just stupid.
But everybody's doing it now for whatever reason.
What are we kneeling for now?
All the shit done lost its meaning now because somebody gets upset about something. They're like,
yeah.
We'll just kneel it out before the game.
The thing with the Texans is like, your owner called you inmates, and that's all you could muster up. I wanted to see more. Like, they were talking about removing their logos from their hats or from their helmets.
That'd have been some bullshit if they removed that.
Yo, they should have not fucking played.
Yes,
they should have walked out there. They should have walked out there, stood for the anthem with no pads on, just like, we here, we standing. Say something now.
Nobody in the NFL is gonna do that. But if it got really bad, I think the NBA or somebody in baseball would, because they're gonna take that money from them.
But I'm not talking about even like the other teams. I mean specifically the Texans. Like,
your
owners blatantly disrespected you. Like, they came out and called you. He came out and called you inmates. Like, and you still played?
Yep.
That wasn't enough to move you?
And they balled out, too. That offense balled out.
Best game of the season.
Balled out. They lost, but they balled. I mean, they said they're playing for each other, which, I get, because, it's still your team, your season on the line, but at the same time, man, this shit's bigger than football.
Yeah.
At some point, yeah.
I'm tapped out.
All right. To stay in football, Let's bring it over to the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if y'all see it. First of all,
the shitty Browns.
Josh Gordon, the best Browns player that they probably had in the last 5 to 10 years.
Jesus Christ.
That's one since Jim Brown, probably.
Who's been out for smoking weed
since 2014.
What Stephen A. say?
The weed. He's the worst thing ever.
But he couldn't stay off the weed. But he was reinstated conditionally, I think, to meet with to participate in team meetings.
Yeah.
And he can possibly play at the end of the month, I believe.
I think he's
as long as he stays out of
eligible
shit.
for reinstatement like the 20th, I want to say.
I thought it was like the 27th.
So it's around there,
around there.
the end of the month.
I think the 20th he's allowed to practice, and then I think the week after he may be allowed to. Yep, he may be allowed to play as long as he stays off the weed.
It is fucking ridiculous that weed is still considered.
Yeah, they need to legalize that shit.
But
Welcome to 2017.
Did you see the piece he did with Uninterrupted? LeBron's network he did with Maverick and Rich Paul. He was doing a whole bunch of shit though. Like he was depressed. He was popping Xannies.
Who was?
Did coke? Josh Gordon.
Oh yeah. Yep,
I watched
he was on
all the prescription shit. He was doing coke. He was popping Xannies.
Yeah.
So after the weed shit, I guess.
But everybody,
he just went all in.
Everybody let him slide. He said there was a coach. He went to Baylor, I believe, right?
Yeah, started, but I think he ended up somewhere else.
Okay, I thought he stayed there. But anyway, a coach was giving him stuff. I don't know if it was high school or college. A coach was giving him stuff to pass his piss test until one day where he couldn't reach the coach.
Right.
He didn't know what to do, and he failed his test, the first test, and they kind of let him off with a slap on the wrist. So,
they needed him.
As an authority, they needed him. As an authority figure, you're letting your players slide with a slap on the wrist.
Yep.
He thinks it's okay. So, he fell into that trap, and he got into the NFL.
And nobody was letting him slide.
Nobody was letting him slide, so it's kind of like, and then the worst thing, that's another thing that's about the NFL that's fucking shitty. If you get suspended, you can't be around your team.
Right.
So if you have,
they send your ass home.
You have drug issues. You have issues, real life issues that you need to deal with. I think you need to be around your team.
At least let you go to the facility.
Go to the facility, participate in team practices. I think not playing in games is enough. It's enough punishment.
I agree.
When you can't be in those meetings with your teammates and you're basically not on the team, even though you belong to that team, you're not on the team. Like, how is that going to help you?
Yeah, like when Brady got suspended last year, this nigga was in Italy and shit. He was living his fucking life and then came back and was like, oh, guess it's time to play now.
How does that help anybody that's in trouble?
I mean,
you can't.
I mean, I'm high psych student.
Yeah.
Any doctor will tell you, like, you need your support systems, especially your team. Those people are your friends. You play with them. They're going to support you. I mean, not being allowed to associate with them at all, that's really rough. And if anything, it's making the problem worse. You're pulling somebody out of everything they know.
It's making them run to drugs.
Yeah, I agree.
So he hasn't played ball in 3 years.
Yeah.
What else would you expect him to do other than train? He was going to get high because he was bored.
Yeah.
He was probably depressed that he couldn't play. He wasn't making no money.
Yeah.
It's trash.
They trash. But on the lighter side of the Cleveland Browns, I don't know if you've seen Bianca.
Oh man, these niggas.
NFL trade deadline was Tuesday, Halloween.
Yep.
NFL trade deadline was Halloween, Tuesday at 4 p.m. The Cleveland Browns. First of all, Cleveland Browns has been fucking up their quarterback situation for years. They can't get it right. They've had like 37,000 quarterbacks in the last 5 years. But yeah, they couldn't. Yeah, the shitty Browns. They need to change their fucking mascot. That's why they suck, because they're fucking
the dog?
Browns. The dog, but it's not really the dog. Like, why can't you be the Cleveland Dogs? Why can't you? What's with the Browns?
I don't know. The jerseys are ugly.
The jerseys are
ugly.
orange.
The city is ugly. It's trash. It's all trash.
They're just
If you're listening to
trashy
Cleveland, I'm
Browns.
sorry. Cleveland sucks. I'm sorry.
Either way, I mean,
It literally, their name matches the color of shit. They traded for a quarterback that they probably shouldn't have.
Right.
They gave up a second and third round pick for A.J. McCarron of the Bengals at 3:55 p.m. Now the rule states both teams have to call the league office.
Right.
Say, oh, we made this trade. This is what's going on. So the Bengals sent in their paperwork. The Browns were celebrating the trade and didn't send in their paperwork till 4:01 p.m.
4:01.
And they were denied the trade.
Because they're the fucking Browns.
wait, how did I miss this?
Browns gone brown. Like,
if
I was the owner, I would clear house. I said all of you are fired. Everybody leave.
Yeah, they got
Get the fuck out.
They got to fire everyone. They got to change the name from the Browns because that's not good. Why are you the Browns?
Celebrate a deal before it's done.
Yeah, they celebrated the deal and said, "Oh shit, we didn't send it in." And, they try to they try to ask for the league to push it through anyway. Which I personally don't see the big deal, but.
No,
But still, I get it. It's business.
I just said no just to laugh at them. I said, y'all stupid as hell. They say 401. This should say 340. It's supposed to be.
That's like counting money before you got it. You don't do that.
At the end of the day, AJ McCarron. He's been solid stepping in for Andrew. I'm about to sneeze. Andy Dalton.
Yep.
But he's not worth second. He hasn't proven anything. He's not worth answer. Second.
They tell you what he's not. He's not.
He may be, but you don't know. You don't know. That's a big gamble, man.
Unless Nick Saban and the Alabama defense are walking through that door.
Yeah, I think it works out.
Ain't there,
I think it works out for the Browns, but still, it's just hilarious.
They're still the shitty Browns.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. That's hysterical, though. I have a firm don't count your money before it's actually in your pocket policy. Clearly, they never heard about that.
Don't celebrate to that clock strike zero for games. That's how I feel.
I don't like to set myself up for disappointments.
Well, if you're the Browns, you do. It's part of life.
Well, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm perpetually disappointed. They disappoint me every day of my life.
All right, I'm done talking about football.
Same. Moving on.
He's got the star on his hat.